Way of Kings. The Way of Kings. Honor is dead, but the radiant shall rise. 0, 0 to 115. Part 1. Introduction. The World of Titanic Storms. What would you do if you lived in a world where apocalyptic storms sweep across the land every few days? Storms powerful enough to blow away entire cities. A world where plants must retract into stone to survive, and where humanity has spent centuries fighting over scraps in a seemingly endless cycle of war. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we step onto the world of Roshar to explore Brandon Sanderson's magnum opus, The Way of Kings. This is the first book of the Stormlight Archive. And it isn't just a fantasy novel, it is a massive epic about honor, sacrifice, and the people who choose to stand tall when everyone else has succumbed to despair. Join me as we journey through a land of broken oaths and the rising light of ancient heroes. Part 2. The core plot. 3 souls, 1 destiny. The story weaves together the lives of 3 distinct characters whose paths will eventually collide on the shattered plains. 1. Kaladin. From hero to slave. We start with Kaladin, a young man trained in surgery but forced into the army, only to end up a branded slave. He is sent to the shattered plains to serve in Bridge 4, a literal suicide squad tasked with carrying massive wooden bridges to allow the king's army to cross chasms. The bridges provide no cover, making the bridge runners human bait for enemy arrows. The drama lies in Kaladin's internal struggle. How can he keep fighting for hope when his comrades die one by one? His journey changes when he notices a tiny wind spirit, a Spren named Syl, who begins to awaken an ancient, forgotten power within him. 2. Dalinar: The Vision-Haunted General. Dalinar is a legendary high prince and general, but his reputation is crumbling. Every time a high storm passes, he is gripped by vivid, terrifying visions of the past and the ancient knights radiant. In a society that values only war and conquest, Dalinar starts preaching unity and following an ancient code of ethics called the Way of Kings. While everyone thinks he has gone mad, Dalinar must navigate treacherous political conspiracies to protect his family and his king. 3. Shallan, the Scholar and the Thief. Shallan is a brilliant young woman from a minor noble house on the brink of ruin. She seeks out the world's greatest scholar, Jasna, with a secret, desperate goal: to steal a magical device called a soulcaster to save her family. However, through her studies, Shallan discovers terrifying evidence that the legendary Voidbringers, the monsters of myth, are returning, and that the world is standing on the edge of a total catastrophe. 4. The Battle of the Tower. The climax of the book occurs at a place called the Tower. Dalinar is betrayed by his ally, Sadeas, and left surrounded by thousands of enemies to die. In this moment of absolute darkness, Kaladin makes a choice that changes history. He refuses to run. He decides to save the man who represents the very nobility that oppressed him, simply because it is the right thing to do. When Kaladin screams the first ideal of the Knights Radiant and takes to the sky, it is one of the most heroic moments in the history of fantasy literature. Part 3. Artistic Highlights, World Building and the Magic of Spren. Sanderson has built Roshar with an astonishing level of detail. The world feels alien and vibrant, from the Spren, spirits that manifest around emotions and natural phenomena, to the stormlight that fuels the magic. We see the majesty of the shard blades, swords that can cut through stone and sever souls, and shard plate, armor that makes a man a living tank. But the true beauty of Sanderson's writing is how he uses Kaladin's flashbacks to build empathy. We don't just see a hero, we see the scars that made him. The magic is never a get-out-of-jail-free card. It is earned through the characters' growth and their commitment to a moral code. Part 4. Analysis and Reflection, The Definition of Greatness. The central theme of the book is the mantra, journey before destination. Sanderson asks a powerful question. What is honor in a world that has forgotten it? Through Dalinar and Kaladin, we learn that true strength doesn't come from owning the biggest sword. It comes from the courage to maintain your principles when it would be easier to give up. This is a lesson in resilience, about standing up every time you fall. As the book famously says, the most important step a man can take, it's the next one. Always the next step. Part 5. Conclusion. The oaths are reborn. The Way of Kings is merely the beginning of a conflict that spans the entire universe. The Knights Radiant are returning, the true desolation is coming, and Roshar will never be the same. Thank you for watching this review. If you were a Knight Radiant, which order would you belong to? The Protective Windrunners, or perhaps the Truth-Seeking Lightweavers? What was your favourite Kaladin moment? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to join us as we follow the path of kings in the next volume. Words of Radiance. Until then, may the Stormlight lead your way.